Since a juvenile, up in Spofford we was running wild. No non-secure, 18 months and then you touch it down. No phone calls to the world, shit'll break you down. Find out your brother in the morgue and they spinning now. And your grandma soon be gone, ain't no fixing that. And that phone gon' remind you got a minute left. I know they see a nigga stressed.
So special.
Other young nigga blessed. I paint this picture from a dark place.
Rehabilitation, the action of restoring someone to normal life through training and therapy after imprisonment.
What was the hardest part of your incarceration?
Just being away from my family. That was the hardest part. Yeah, the family part.
Was there any point in your bid where you felt like giving up? Like you felt like, I can't make it?
To be honest, no. Nah.
That's that Brooklyn in you.
Nah, it wasn't no part of me was gonna break me. Nah, real shit. Like, that shit ain't do none of that to me. Cause at the same time, I'm smart. So it's like, I'm not one of them dummy ass niggas that's in jail. So it's like, me, I take advantage of every opportunity that's in my face, even a negative, whatever the case is, I know how to turn it into a positive. So besides running around, getting into shit with niggas and shit like that, I knew to educate myself. So the more education I got, the more I felt like when my time come to be released, I was gonna be alright. So I just looked at it like that. And that's why I really took the time to really learn everything I needed to know. So when I came home, as you can see, I went running at first. I didn't fall into distractions. I stayed away from my own family. You feel me? Just so I could take care of myself and put myself in a better position.
So at what point during your bid did you start making your plan, like for when you come home?
I started probably planning within like the middle of my bid once I had like 5-6 years in.
Was there any resources like through the jail or from them or any programs that they offered that helped you to, transition?
I got my masonry certification. Where I was at, they barely had programs, and it's a long waiting list. So by the time you get into something, is you basically on your way out, or you will be on a waiting list forever. So that was the only thing I was able to accomplish, which doesn't even help out here because they still want you to do the same thing you just did over for the company. Right. So they don't care what you done learned in prison. We care about what you want to learn now. So a lot of that gonna help you. Real shit. None of that shit helps you. It's about just keeping yourself busy and learning what you want to learn to make your situation better out here. And I knew certain things I was going to learn was going to help me out here, like learn about who I am. That's number one, our history. So that's what I took to the key. Like I need to learn who I am as a black man, period. And then two, I know one thing that people always need out here is real estate. So I educated myself on real estate. People always need a place to live. No matter what, if I get FHA loan or I save up some bread and go get a crib, that's gonna take care of me, you feel me? So, and I can also rent out to other people so they could have some place to live and I have a stable income. I ain't gonna have to worry about a job, which when I did come home, I knew on my mind, I have to get a job, period. I ain't gonna, I'm gonna still back to selling drugs and end up back in jail. I'm not doing that, I'd be stupid. So what I did was came home, 2 weeks home, I took all the money I had, invested in the crib and to get shit together, and I bought my first car. And the first 2 weeks home, I didn't come home glorifying that shit, partying every day. I went to go get a job, bust my ass for about 1.5 years straight, take care of everything I was supposed to take care of, build my foundation, the crib, the car, a stable job, in stocks, investing in stocks, like doing everything I said I was going to do in prison. Like I learned about stocks, all that shit I applied to when I came home. Because I know at the end of the day, I'm only home about 2.5 years now. So I said by the time I got 3-4 years home, I don't want to even work no more. Right. So I'm trying to build businesses, real estate.
So you feel like prison helped you in a way?
Hell yeah. Because I think I probably on some G shit, be dead in jail. Because before I went to jail, we was just into so much shit. Mm-hmm. It's like you had to walk around with a gun. Like you don't know where it's gonna come from. So you have to be on point, and it was just too much. Like niggas getting locked up, niggas getting killed, shot. You gotta walk to the corner store with your gun every time you wanna come outside. It's just too much. It's it's just wicked.
Yeah, nobody want to live like that.
Yeah, so you never know what you're gonna end up with that shit. So at the same time, it slow niggas down and let us know like shit ain't a game. You need to wake up, learn something different, because there's more to life than just the regular shit that these niggas get into every day. The bullshit.
But I'm just amazed, like the way you talking, the way you think, like, you know, like it's just amazing to see the growth in you. Because I remember little JT running around sleeping with all the girls in high school.
That's what I care
like, you know,
about.
I see the man in you, like, you know, like it's just a proud feeling as a black woman to see a black man like just with that type of mindset. Like you don't get that every day, especially somebody coming home from jail. Like they be so quick to, you know, only go back to what they know, and the fact that you focused on the total opposite and stayed true to it, and now you're successful in it. Like you got 2 whole businesses you call your own. Like what do you think there's anything that you would have done differently?
What, like before I went to jail?
Yeah, before jail, during jail, after jail, transitioning.
I would say before jail, I can't really say. I think everything I did was God's doing. So I can't change nothing. I would never change nothing. My past made me who I am today.
That's a fact. Oh, that's so real. I don't know, like. How was your first day home? Like, what was going through your mind? What was going through your heart?
I was nervous as fuck, so I ain't going front.
After being away for 10 years.
Like, I was nervous because we done been through so much shit. I thought I was gonna get indicted again. You feel me? Like, it's just you feel like it's never gonna end. And when they say they're gonna release you, it's just a nervous feeling. You like, release, boy. Like, I don't know if this shit real. Like, I ain't gonna feel it's real until I got my clothes on, getting in that car. So I was like an anxiety feeling, with nervousness, sweaty. Be like, nah, I'm getting released. Like, they gonna pull a stunt when they open that thing. Like, they gonna come lock my ass up again. You know what I mean? Like, they gonna say some other shit is going on. You just don't know what's gonna happen. So it was like real nervous for me, man. Like, cause the whole process is just nerve-wracking. Cause like before you even get released, they come holler at you like probably a few months before your date, the parole board, and then you gotta go sit in front of 2-3 people and they gotta grind you up, tell you ain't shit, belittle you. They do you dirty. So I'm like, at the board, they try to make you, and they want a reaction out of you. They want you to be like say something that's out of pocket so they can park your shit. Like, nah, go sit up for a couple more months or a year or 2, just to get a reaction out. You want to see if you calm, if you can take criticism. So it's a big test before they even release you, just to have them agree to release you. So it's like, I had to go up in there, dress properly, have a folder, all this. Gotta fit the parts. Yeah, tuck my tail just to be released, because they got your life in their hands. You feel me? So
sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do.
So after that, and then you still have to wait. So you basically sometimes can't even sleep at night, because now after that, you have to wait to see what the decision is. So every day you waking up like, oh, I hope I'm getting bad news. I hope I get some good news. It's just nerve-wracking. It just keep bothering you until that day comes. They call you and they let you know if you're being released or not. And then after that, now you gotta prepare mentally to hit the streets. And if you've been learning shit, now it's time to apply. If you have it, now you're just going back out there to the streets and do the same shit you just did. So it's either you want to repeat what you did, or you want to change and do something different. It's really
so you feel like people who didn't use their time wisely, like you see how you made a plan and you did 10 years, people who, like somebody else who did 10 years but didn't make a plan, they'd be more prone to like be shell shocked and return to prison? Do you think like if you don't have a plan, will you end up returning to prison?
I think it's an 80% chance, because a lot of people I've seen went back.
80%?
Yeah, because me being in prison, I've seen so many people that didn't have a plan, that was running around reckless, dumbfounded and all that. Within 2-3 weeks to a month, they coming right back to the same prison. And then you looking at them like, yo, I just seen you, didn't you just go home? You're like, yeah, man, shit got crazy, man. You know, I had to go up there try to do what I do. That shit they got. Like, you just be like, come on, man. Like, I understand they don't have things going for you in here, but it's up to you to make something of it. You feel me? You don't have to have the money. Like, fuck the streets and all that. They got libraries in there. They got books in there. If you don't know how to read, ask somebody to teach you some things. If if you do know how to read, go in there and apply what's in the library and educate yourself. Fuck what the motherfuckers doing on the streets for you. They feed you 3 times a day. You go get a job. It ain't much, but it's something. When you come home, you gotta deal with the real world anyway. You feel me? Like,
yeah, that's kind of like setting you into a schedule, so when you come home, you can still have that kind of schedule.
And some motherfuckers don't want to hear. They just feel like the world is out to get them. I understand that, whatever the case is. You feel me? Like, and I know how the system do us, but I use this. I took advantage of the system basically. You ain't gonna destroy me. I'm gonna build on top of what you're trying to do. What? I got you. I'm gonna do what I gotta do. I'm gonna work around it. So
I think if everybody had that mentality, they wouldn't return to jail and they would go harder because, you know, they always, like the Black Lives Movement, you know how they saying like, oh, don't economically, like don't support, you know, this Caucasian company or this company. But jail is the biggest Caucasian company that we support and everybody just going there freely. Like, you know, it's just like, we're doing them a favor by the things that we be doing and we're helping them ruin our lives and ruin the next generation, you know?
If people understood that one part right there, what you just said, it'd be a lot different now. That's real shit. The shit you do is supporting the system by going, committing crimes or doing some dumb shit to go sit in there and they get paid for you.
Okay, so where are you from? Like what area?
I'm from Bed-Stuy, Brooklyn.
Ah, Bed-Stuy.
Doing that shit.
Right, what block?
Lafayette.
Yeah, Brooklyn. So how would you describe your childhood for real?
Childhood was cool for the most part, man. Grew up in a crib full of females for the most part, like my sisters and shit. Then my family members, like my cousins and nieces. So it was like a big household. Word.
A lot of love.
A lot of love and shit like that. I had an older brother, but he was killed when I was young, so I already had that big brother figure in the crib. Like I had other people, but it was like nobody I could really like be around and look up to. Besides my sister, like she was like my sister and my brother. Like she was, yo, we going to the park, we going to scrap and all that, we going to fight and shit. So regular shit. So she was like a big bro slash sis, but I never had like a real. Besides my father, but you know he was in and out of the crib working and stuff like that. So like. How
old were you? Excuse me, when your brother passed away?
Shit, I didn't even have a chance to really have a good image of him. Like I'm like 3 years old, 3 years old. So.
Do you remember him?
Nah.
Do you see pictures?
Oh yeah.
Who you look like? Yeah, look like?
Yeah. A lot of like older women that used to date him or know him. You know,
they try to holler at you. Ooh, like look at him. Looking like Big Bro.
Yeah, they like, yo, you look like Tim. You look like Tim. Like, word. All right. Then when I see the pictures, you know, little structure and shit like that, I say, yeah, I do look like him. So. Yeah, when I see the pictures, I see, you know, he went to the army, he was into the army and shit like that. So.
Okay, soldier. A lot of men in the uniform.
Yeah.
So what was high school like for you?
Oh, man.
I mean, I know what it means. What was high school like for you?
That's time of my life.
Right.
Shit, like, from the first day.
Wait, what high school did you attend?
Van Arsdale.
Right, when it was lit.
When it was lit. I don't know about now, but when it was lit, shit was lit. Word, that shit was alright though. That was my high school. Van Arsdale was there for about a year or two maybe. Then
Really? That was it?
Yeah, that's it. Then I transferred to Acorn in the Style. That when that's right on Broadway and shit.
I know what
So yeah, I was there for a couple months and then I said, fuck everything. I started going out of town.
So at what age did you see your life shifting into a different direction?
Shifting towards like really when I took it to another level, I had to be about 15. About 15. But before that I was doing my thing in the streets or whatever the case is. But that was a turning point in my life. I was just tired of school. I felt like they wasn't doing nothing for you. Like they not teaching you what you're supposed to. Like it's just wicked. So I'm like, you know what, man, fuck that. I seen my niggas getting money crazy. And I'm like, man, like I ain't trying to settle for this, man. Like real shit. So I just say, you know what? I'm out here. Like
now where'd you go?
Out of town.
Get that money.
Getting that money for real.
How was that lifestyle for you?
That shit was love. Wow, that shit was love. Kind of different because, you know, you coming from where you at, you know your environment. So going out of town is like I'm introduced to hell. I was selling coke, crack, and weed and all that shit, but when I was introduced to heroin, that was a different. I didn't know what the hell this shit was. So you feel me? So going out of town, that's why I was into it. It's just a whole new world. It's like a ghost town. You feel me? Of people like it's just different. Like it's crazy.
Where did you go?
Altoona, PA.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I went out there with my homies and shit, and the way that money was coming in was ridiculous. Like so, like it's changed my life. It changed.
At what point did things go left?
I would say it started going left like 2006, 2007. At that point when I was like probably like 17, 18, it started going left. And my homies started getting locked up. They started rushing cribs. It started going crazy. And they never could get us to, me and my niggas knew how to move. Like they could not, ever since I was in the game, I never been caught with weed. I never got caught doing nothing. Anything I ever did, I was smarter than not get caught. But other people was getting caught up and they was leaving statements, and you know how that goes. Like they rounding up people and finding things and shit like that. So what happened was, me and my boys, we already got away from that, started moving on to other states and we do whatever the case is. But they dropped an indictment because me and my homies got locked up for a situation, and they had our pictures at the 79th precinct. And they had our pictures and all that. So when they dropped the indictment, they shipped their faxed our pictures out there and shit. And they went around the town, the people who was getting caught up, and they asked, do we know these people? And they had about 7 pictures of us, you feel me? And they just dropped the indictment on us. They had the boys in the hood running on our cribs. It was one of my homies that got away, and that was G baby. My boy.
That nigga was like, yeah.
My son knew how to maneuver. Like he was always somewhere or with a girl or some shit. So he was our only one.
With a girl. Always with a good girl. You know, I think that saved him a lot sometimes. Like him being laid up somewhere, that saved him. That kept him out of trouble.
That shit kept him
out of trouble.
Real shit.
Cool shit.
That kept him out the way.
What? So how old were you when you got arrested?
19.
And you got arrested in PA?
No, in New York.
Oh, what happened in New York?
Yeah, they rushed our cribs in New York.
I thought all the time you was in PA.
I wasn't PA. I got extradited. I sat on Rikers Island for 10 months.
So the case originally started in New York?
No, PA.
And then it came to New York?
Yeah.
That's wicked.
Yeah,
that is wicked.
That's wicked off of hearsay. I did 10 years.
That hearsay go far.
10 to 20 years. And they don't have a picture of me. I never got pulled over out there. No wiretaps, no nothing, just because of what people
Was
say.
it federal or state?
It was state.
Oh, but you know that's Commonwealth. That's
Commonwealth.
why. Yeah.
They said if the Commonwealth, if we would have beat it or they would have dropped it, the
Feds would have picked it up. That's what they did to my husband.
Exactly.
Because the state has to build a case, the state of New York, and he beat that case. And then a year later, the feds picked it up, and he copped out to something that had nothing to do with the original charge. What they picked him up for, but like you said, like they had this law called ghost law where they could just have no evidence and they can convict you of hearsay. And yeah, that's the guy told me on the phone, like we don't have to have physical evidence. It's called the ghost law. All we need is a statement.
Damn.
So I'm like, so if I said, you know, Donald Trump shot me, like y'all gonna go raid Donald Trump crib? Like be for real. Like, you know, it just don't add up. It gotta be more to it to me, but of course we'll never know.
Never know. Yeah.
So they extradited you to PA and then you had to see the judge in PA.
Yeah, I seen the judge in PA. I sat up for about 21 months fighting the case, me and my mans and shit.
So all that time counts towards your sentence.
Yeah,
Okay.
Towards my sentence. 21 months and I already knew how much time I was facing because they was broadcasting it all day, but
Right, you don't have it in small towns. They put it newspaper, news, everything.
right on TV.
Making y'all look like bitching them. But y'all really was though, right? Y'all really was.
For Brooklyn, for Bed-Stuy,
Y'all really was. Y'all was doing grown people's.
Yeah, I still to this day I give it to my young homies who doing anything, but
I don't feel like how y'all did. Yeah.
Ain't nobody beat up to our level. So I already
We ain't talking about scammer money. We talking about
real
mud money. You feel me?
Mud money.
Yes,
You gotta
mud
hit
money.
the fan,
Right.
And you gotta just hit them
Right,
from
yes.
the bottom up, hitting the highway.
They ain't
all
like
day,
that. They ain't like that no more.
They want that easy shit.
Yeah, swipe, little blue collar crime.
Yeah, like go put your work in, man. They want that easy shit. So I can't
Right.
even get into that. So I'm like, nah, man, I'm a mud baby, man. That's how I get it, man.
So when they actually gave you your sentence, what did they sentence you to?
10 to 20 years. So, yeah, 10 to 20 years. That's what, and you know what the judge told me?
What?
She said, don't worry about it. You'll be young when you still get back out. You'll even get back out. I said, damn, that's how you feel about me. She said, yeah.
Was she Caucasian?
Yeah. She said, don't worry about it. You'll still be young when you come home.
Did you have a paid lawyer or legal aid?
Paid lawyer, too. Real shit. Paid lawyer. That shit still don't work out.
Did y'all go to trial or y'all had to cop out?
Nah, I was the first one to cop out. I actually had an argument with my boy. We on the gate and all that. My right hand man, Randy, you know. We in the cell and shit, cause we was cellies and shit. He like, yo, man, so you can't do it, boy. You can't cop out, boy. You cop out, it's gonna make all of us have to cop out. We going all the way. I say, yo, cop out. They not gonna put my dick in there. They ain't gonna kill me out here. Cause I see them niggas giving life like it's water. Like life is like nothing out there. Life, 30 to 60 and all that bullshit. I said, nah, they ain't gonna kill me out here. So I got a son to get home to. I got a mother and family I gotta get home to. Boy, they giving me 10 years. I'm taking it. I'm going to do my time. You feel me? Like 10, 20. But it's like, you gotta see the boy when you coming home. So they feel like you not ready to go home. They hit you, give you 2 more years on top of that. So, or 3 years on top of that. So, but my last 3 years, I fell back and did what I had to do. So they let me right out when my time came. I'm like, yeah, I told him now.
So hearing 10 to 20, how did that make you feel?
To tell you the truth, I was young and I didn't give a fuck at that point. So, and I know what I did. Like, I had a couple years run. It don't justify what I did, but I knew they didn't have evidence, but the things they were saying was true. So they bring the people in and it's all collaborating. It was going real for me regardless. So, but at that point, me being young, it kind of hit me like, damn, they about to give me all this time.
And I always say the most talented people, some of the most beautiful people are in jail.
That's a fact.
And I look at it like maybe they didn't know that's why I actually do feel like jail helped you see your potential, because sometimes you don't know your potential until everything's taken away from you and your back is against the wall and then you gotta use, your God-given talent. I've seen people making soap, like sculptures, like stuff that I'm like, they can sell this on eBay for like $400,000.
They still
people will buy it.
There, man. I be in there, be astounded, I'll be amazed at
the food they make, everything. I'm just like, why you can't apply this in the real world? Like, and it's just sad that some people don't get a chance to have that second chance. So having that second chance and becoming successful and coming home and doing the right thing and starting a family, I'm just really so proud of you. Like, it's really like a proud feeling. What would you have to say to somebody in jail right now that's going down that path that you was going down before?
That's going through the path?
Going down the path, like lost and just, friends, and you know how you was when we were younger, like somebody that just don't have no guidance and they can see this. Like, what would you say to them? Because, your story, you come from a popping block in the style, you still somebody, but y'all was really like, I don't know if y'all ever saw like Belly or Paid in Full, but y'all was like the Belly and Paid in Full of like Brooklyn. Like everybody knew who y'all was. Like
that's real shit, man. And all I can say is, man, out of all that glory and fun and all that good shit, man, I could only say that if you on that path, man, it's like it ain't worth it. It really ain't worth it, because out of all of that, I could have had that light in the positive way if I knew better. You feel me? I got that in a negative way of messing with mad different chicks and having money and doing whatever I wanted to do in the streets and holding court and nobody can tell me shit because I am who I am. Like, I could have been who I was and doing positive things for people and still had that attention and light and feeling good, feeling like I'm somebody. So I would say, like, it ain't worth losing all that freedom and having to go sit somewhere where you have no control over nothing. You can't use a phone when you want. They tell you when to sleep, take a shit. Like, you don't want your rights taken away from you just because you want something that you could get eventually instead of wanting it so fast. It don't add up.
I say it all the time, like the same, they be running around scamming or, just risking their freedom for a pair of $1,200 shoes. If you got a regular 9 to 5, I got a regular 9 to 5. You can get it, just break it down into 2 checks. you know, do overtime on one check, and you know, you can still get out. I tell people all the time, if you want a Rolex, it might take me, I'm a working person, it might take me a year to save up for a Rolex, but I can get a Rolex just like you can get a Rolex. At least I don't gotta look over my shoulder for it, and that's the best feeling in the world.
You're doing 4 or 5 years because you want a Rolex
for
today.
Material things, something that you could still have gotten, it just might have taken a little longer. I tell people all the time, don't think about the fast money because it's coming quick, it's gonna go even quicker. You value money when you work hard for it. Like, I don't know, just I guess in Islam, that's always in my head because God loves, you know, the person that works hard for what they have, you know.
I'm learning that now.
Right, and I feel like that sticks with me because I value things that I work hard for. Like if somebody buy it for me or I get it for free, you know, I won't. But if I spend my money, I'm like, honey, I spent my hard-earned money on this. This is mine.
Cherish things.
Right, a little different, especially when you work hard for it. And I think we're so programmed to think that, to make excuses because of where we come from, that we don't look at the opportunities or the obstacles we can knock down and overcome. We just so quick to make excuses.
Yeah.
You know, but like a lot of people like that ran with us, we was young, like, you know, so I can't fault you for making your mistakes.
And I must say, on some G shit, I had people in my life that try to get me on the right track, so I can never take that from people.
Right, you just got caught up. Like, you know, some people, it goes by their zip code. Some people just get caught up because it's around them. It's about your environment, like, you know.
Environment overrides everything. And that's one thing on some G shit says, the one thing I took, like you said, environment. When I was in prison, I said, I'm not going back to my same environment. I'm going somewhere where nobody knows me. I can do what I need to do. And when I'm stable and I build what I want to build, I could go back. But when you young, you know how these other things.
Yeah, you don't even
know. That time I do that shit. This shit ain't about nothing. But that's how I was at that point. Right now, it's a different story.
It's like, I'm doing too much right now.
Right now, y'all can have the streets.
Right.
I'm done. But then that's when you wrecking, you doing what you doing, you trying to live that lifestyle, that dumb shit. So you be like, man, I do the time. Fuck that shit. Word.
Damn, I'm just thinking, like, as you talking, I'm just like, damn, 10 to 20, what would be going through my mind?
Bro, the only thing that was really going through my mind, because my first day, mom was pregnant with my first son. And she was like 5 or 6 months pregnant. She used to come to the island, big belly, feet swollen and shit like that. That shit used to kill me. You feel me? Seeing her there crying and all that shit, like, damn, you need to come home, whatever the case is. Like, and then I'm on the island, just like, I'm in my jail zone, because on the island, you gotta be on point and fighting every other day. You all in the mix and shit. So I'm just like, I'm not even thinking about the streets no more. I'm on jail time. So I'm like, just sitting there and you just kicking in shit. And then my mom's, like, that was the only, like, really, like, I love my family and shit like that. You know, I care about everybody, but those are the two that made me feel it the most. Her and my mom's and shit. Because my mom's is older. She like, yeah, Jay, you about to go do 7 or 10 years. My mom's a G though, you feel me? My mom's a G. She said, I don't condone none of that shit. Go do your time, boy. You know what you're doing in these streets. I was like, you already know, I'm gonna do what I got to do. She's like, yeah, I'll be here when you get home. Don't worry about it. Yeah,
that's
she
real.
a G. Yeah, she a G,
So, once you got sentenced, like, going to the PA jail, like, what was in your mind sitting on that bus?
Well, when they...
Because, you know, it's totally different from being on the island where you feel more accustomed, you feel more at home.
Yeah, I had to tone it down when I got the PA, you feel me? Because they not on New York time. So it's like, it's more, it's wicked. It's wicked when it comes to the cops more than anything. Like
more than the inmates.
Yeah, more than the inmates. Like, that's what you really gotta watch out for. They try to kill you up there. But just going there, I didn't know what to expect. It's a whole new world. You don't, like, it's just, you don't know nobody. Like, it's not like, yeah, you run into mad people you know.
Yeah, it's a whole other state.
Yeah, so it's a whole nother state. So now you gotta be on point for niggas from Philadelphia, from Pittsburgh, from Erie, from Baltimore, DC, Virginia.
West Virginia,
yeah, all that's right in there. So it's like,
Mm-hmm.
it's a whole nother world compared to New York.
What we used to,
Yeah, if you run into niggas from the hood or upstate.
And then their style is different, the way they talk is different. So you don't even know, like, it's hard for you to interpret, like, do he mean harm? Do he not mean harm? Like, is he trying to play me? Is he not trying to play me? Like, you know? You gotta go, right.
Yeah.
That gotta be crazy not having a soul in there that you know. So where was, I don't know if I should say his name. I don't know if y'all cases is like,
Oh, my co-defendant.
Oh, he is your co-defendant. Okay.
Yeah.
So was y'all locked up together?
Yeah, hell yeah.
I didn't know y'all been jumping together.
Oh, not the whole bid, but I could say out of Out of the 10 years, we probably did like 3 years together.
In PA or on Island?
We did time on the island together, and when we got the PA, we did about 20-something months together.
That's good. At least y'all was able to have that. That's good.
But once we went, like, in PA, once we got shipped upstate and all that, we all got separated. So I ain't see Bo or Randy I ain't speak to them, like, on the phone or anything for years. So probably about 7-8 years.
Wow. So that video you guys did when y'all came home, that was your first time seeing him?
Yeah.
When y'all hopped out, you picked your little ass up. I'm like, damn. Y'all both big as shit now.
Yeah, that's my first time seeing him.
That video made me break down because you could see the love. Like, you know, people won't understand that. Like, you know, you gotta live it. You gotta have to be there. Yeah.
This is like my brother from the streets. Then we go to jail together. We sitting in the cell together. I remember we was on a block. And when we was locked up, my nigga, he playing basketball. You know, he told he wanna be playing basketball and trying to dunk and fell and fucked his leg up. So me and him cellies, I had to, you know, make sure he was straight. He went to go get him a wheelchair and all that shit. You know, just, you know, we cool on the streets, but there,
it's a different bond
because you with somebody 24/7. It's not like, oh, what's good, boy, I'm out of here. I go fuck with some bras and then we separate. Nah, you with somebody 24/7, so you see the good, the bad, everything. You go through the emotions, what people going through on the street. Everything is like, it's right in front of you. So it's a different bond. You really get to know somebody for who they are.
What was your hardest part of your video?
The hardest part, I would say, in the beginning, like I said, was my son. When I was on the phone, and he was like, oh, he's taking his first steps and shit like that. That's kind of emotional, you feel me? So it's like, damn, I'm supposed to be there for little man and all that. And that shit broke me down. My boy Randy had to close the cell, and I had to let that shit out. But once I let that shit out, it was over. Like, that was good. Like, I just accepted it. I said, yo, I'm just gonna gotta do what I gotta do. But that was one of the worst parts about it.
Who's JT today? Is he John? Is he JT? Is he Jay? Like, who are you today?
I would say I'm still JT in heart, but you know, I'm a businessman now. Just doing the right thing in life. Just trying to make a way for my kids, leave a legacy, something for them to inherit, and teach them how to do what I'm doing now. So they don't have to come up in this world, have to depend on someone else to make a way for them.
We need strong black fathers. Is there anything that you want to express, anything you want to say?
Other than that, I'm everything good, man. Just
shout out your businesses.
Oh yeah, you already know, Billionaire Mindset. You feel me? This you can check me out at J_Miz, MIIZZ. Facebook, JT Miles. Other than that, we doing holding events for you know, we got little what's that, pop-up shops or whatever events, catering, whatever they got going on. I could get you some hookahs, come there, set up for y'all, pay a little fee hourly and all that. Other than that, right now I'm just pushing my billionaire mindset and, you know, got the whole style on it. You feel me?
How's the family life?
Family life is good, man.
It's so weird to see this boy like this. Like, it's so weird. Like, I'm just so happy for you. You really look happy. You look like, you know, you're in a good space. Like, I'm just proud. I'm really proud because I know where you come from. And I know it's not easy for a black man to transition, especially coming from that fast lifestyle of wanting certain things and being accustomed to certain things, and, you know, for it to slow down. You can still get it, but, you know, that transitioning into the slow down, like, you know. I appreciate you, like, just coming here, expressing yourself.
I paint this picture from a dark place, touching all base, 18 next to Canada, think I saw Drake. Nah, but I saw he was in the big box. He told me keep my shoes tied, don't ever leave a bruised pot. COs hold they news high, favorites of their own kind, prison in their own mind. We living through it, do the time. Niggas snitching, dropping dimes, never was a friend of mine. Working out my figure fine, but I just wanna hug my mom.